Mic check, mic check. Check, 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 check. Good morning. Who we got in here? King Thomas, Olivier, Andre. Hello, hello. Who else? Levon, Alex, Orpheus, QB, Maria, Jeffrey. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. So I do not have the watch list built. I have the focus list built, but not the full watch list. So we will be editing that together. We will be building that together. So this is going to be a really raw session. So let's take the watch list from yesterday and clear it out. And we start fresh. All right, we start with SPY. First one on the watch list yesterday. Remember, I was talking about how SPY had the inside day. I said, well, this is where SPY was at, right? And basically, my plan for SPY yesterday was to look for an outside day, meaning we were looking for the break of yesterday's parameters, being yesterday's low and yesterday's high. Well, we got the break of yesterday's low, and the day prior's low, and then this big sell-off. And so that kind of tells us direction, right? So it doesn't seem like SPY's going to be making it back to the all-time highs, so therefore we are not going to be looking for new all-time highs today. I think what makes the most sense from here is for us to continue to look for lower lows on SPY going into today. So let's start with the short level. The easiest thing to do would just be to place the short level at $664. That would give us a break of yesterday's low of day area and surely give us lower lows. That would give us room for SPY to flex, and that way we're not getting faked out here. So that could be one way we could approach this. Short at 664. The other thing we can do is tighten this up and just say, well, let's go short at 666 and be aggressive on the short level and take advantage of this move down to 664 in hopes that maybe it drops further. The third thing that we could possibly do is maybe not be so aggressive, maybe not be so conservative, but then maybe be just somewhere right in the middle, short at 665. The problem with this, actually the benefit of this is that it's not so tight so that we don't potentially get faked out. But then the problem is it's if we go short at 665, there is potential support here at 664. So it almost limits us on profit margin. So I don't think that I agree the most with the middle level. I think that we go one extreme or the other. I think that today either we go overly aggressive and go short quick, or we go somewhat conservative and give this room to flex down to the bottom side, 664. Man, this is a tough judgment call here. So let's take a quick glance at the daily and see, okay, well, if SPY does break down and give us the low underneath yesterday's low of day, that could be a breakdown from this recent upward channel that SPY is in, which kind of almost looks like a bear flag, but not really, because it's pulled all the way back up to the all-time high. So we'd be looking for a move kind of like that. Of course, not as big as something like that, but that would be what we're looking for. So let's go conservative. I do tend to lean more towards the conservative level. I like that short below 664. and we rock with that. The long level's quite easy to set. A lot of you might think Gates is mostly just going off the pre-market highs, pre-market lows, or high of day from yesterday, low of day from yesterday. That is not always the case. You might think the long idea at 669 could work. And to some degree, I would agree, because you would have a break of this downtrend trend line. You would have a red to green move. You would have the break of the pre-market highs. All of that happening right here. That's a lot of reasons to go long at 669. What I don't like about long at 669 is, what do we know to be true about prior points of support? They can become new points of resistance, right? And so our support over the past couple of trading days has actually been at 670. So if we go long at 669, what happens if this hits 670 and rejects? Now all of a sudden we're limited on profit margin to the top side, right? So I don't think that I like the long at 669, because we know that based off of this support. I think my connection might have went out. Are we still good? Okay, I had to, yep, it dipped out for a second. I think that we're good though. Could be a streaming issue on YouTube side. Okay, sorry about that, but I paused. I'll keep an eye on it. If that happens again, I'll just pause. Lost my train of thought there with that. Oh, yes. So SPY, this gives us a nice cushion to either side. So SPY has a nice cushion to flex to either side, so that we're not getting faked out here prematurely. All right. Number 2 on the focus list is going to be Tesla. Tesla had earnings yesterday afternoon. It sells off from the earnings. So what makes the most sense here is to look for a continuation sell-off, much like we did yesterday with Netflix, right? This one's going to be pretty simple, pretty easy. It's just going to be Tesla short below your pre-market low at $420. Short below 420. We'll just say it's a post-earnings trade idea. But everybody here, just so you know, we're on the same page with understanding that Tesla, we are looking for lower lows. Under 420, your next support is 410. Under 410, you start to look to 400. All right, so back to the 5-minute time frame. Yes, Tesla short below 420, post-earnings trade idea. Looks good. Netflix, next one on the watch list. This actually gave us like a $27 drop yesterday. So we're going to be looking for lower lows out of Netflix as well. This one is going to be very cut and dry, very easy, short below 112. Just a true break of, well, I said 112, 1,112. A break of yesterday's low of day. So that's going to be very easy, very cut and dry, very simple. We'll put this as a side chart. So we'll say Netflix below 1112. All right, up next is Microsoft. I believe I included this as a long idea because of yesterday's move up. There was actually quite a bit of money to be made on Microsoft yesterday, but it was really difficult because of how choppy it was once it got up above 522. So let's look for your break of the pre-market resistance is 523. The break of yesterday's high of day resistance is going to be 524. And then the true break of yesterday's high of day will be 525. But I see the majority of resistance and then again at 523. The current trade price is 521. So we have to ask ourselves here, how aggressive do we actually want to go? Oh, I think I lost you again. So we have to ask ourselves, how aggressive do we actually want to go on this? Remember, it is a proper range breakout to the top side. Proper range breakout to the top side. So I feel like we do want to be more aggressive on this. And it is holding up fairly well with SPY selling, right? So I don't mind going aggressive here. If we go aggressive, though, we need to be aware that we do have potential resistance at 524 and 525. All right, so let's go Microsoft long over 523. And we're going to say continuation watch from the range breakout on the daily time frame. Continuation watch from the range breakout on the daily time frame. Perfect. Next one is Meta. Meta's giving you a really solid range here. So this is your, just anytime you can box in price action like that, just generally speaking, you want to look for a break on, to the outside of this whole entire thing. So that gives us a long idea above 736 and a short idea below 726. I think that works fine. I know that the high of day from yesterday is at 740, but what we can do if this breaks 736 is we can take advantage of this trade up to 740. So let's go Meta long over 736, and we'll say short below 726, and we'll say on watch for a break of the ranging support and resistance over the past few trading days. On watch for a break of the ranging resistance over the past few trading days. All right, so that's not it. We got a couple more to look at here. I had also wrote down PLTR, Lulu, and Google. PLTR, Lulu, and Google. I think I just wanted to check on the opening prices of those. So PLTR actually had a pretty big sell-off yesterday. If we go, I don't know why this is taking forever to load. Every time I switch to the daily, I might have to close and reopen this. Let's collect the garbage here. Okay, so PLTR's ranging support, a break of that support sends this much lower. The ranging resistance is around 187, 188, but then there's a lot of resistance here at 182. So we'll go back 5-minute time frame. 182 feels like it's probably out of play. We can put PLTR as a short below 170. I don't know that I don't know that we necessarily want to be well, we could. We could also say short below 173. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go short under 173. Try to be aggressive on this for the move down to 170. So let's say PLTR below 173. I think I wanted to check on the opening price of Google to see if it was trading back up near the resistance from the past couple of trading days. It's not there. That's going to be at $257. It's not there yet, so there's nothing here on Google. And then I wanted to check on the opening price of Lulu to see if it was up near 183. Remember that gap area there? It's not there either, but we'll add this as a placeholder just in case. So we'll say Lulu over 183. I don't know that it's going to get there for this gap fill, but it might be worth a watch. Okay, 5-minute time frame. Let's roll through and see if there's anything that we might have missed. Anything that is... what I'm looking at here, I'm going to roll through these pretty quickly. What I'm looking at here is the opening price action, the pre-market price action, and I'm looking for anything that has gapped up, kind of like this, right? Something that is gapped up or gapped down that makes it seem that makes it look like maybe there's a potential news catalyst that I didn't see, or something going on with the sector So we'll roll through these pretty quickly. Sorry about the lag this morning on YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on that end. I might have to restart my entire system. My charts seem to be loading fine now, though. But I'll take a look at it after I end this stream. Okay, so AAL with earnings here this morning. I think that we probably let that go, and then we'll take a look at the sector at the end of the day. Somebody's asking if I can look at Oracle. Yeah, I'll take a quick look at it. Give me a second. Let me get through these first. I normally don't do trade suggestions or analysis suggestions in these morning sessions because I don't have enough time typically. But I think we probably can swing taking a look at one of them. Apple this is a good setup if it can get back to 265, but it's not there yet. IBM on the sell-off from earnings. Yeah, so see, even my charts are taking, some of them are taking a little second to load, which is too long. That's too long, right? Every second matters when trading. What was that? Ford has earnings this afternoon. BYND pulled all the way back. Okay. And then you wanted me to take a look at Oracle, ORCL. Daily time frame, what did you say about it? You said it has a gap to be filled down to the bottom side. Yep, I have that gap noted right here. So that gap has been working on being filled. And it looks like that now. So it's tightened up. So it is partially filled, not totally filled. Yeah, I mean, it would just look for the continuation gap fill. I'm not sure. It seems like you know everything about this setup, so I'm not sure what you're asking here. I mean, obviously, you see the gap. You mentioned it. You said it has a gap to be filled down. It's there. Yeah, I mean, it's selling, so stick with the trend, right? But also keep in mind that this is a previous point of support, right? See that support there, support here? It may be, with Oracle being down this much, it may be time for a slight bounce, but I think overall, I don't think that this would be a reversal. I think that this would give you a small bounce, and then I would just look for the continuation gap fill down to the bottom side, sure. All right, top stock pick of the day, I think it's got to be Tesla. If I'm just looking around at all of the setups that we have, there's not a lot out there that I'm immediately like, oh, we have to trade that, right? Like we have to be here for that. Otherwise, we miss a setup that we've been waiting on for weeks or for months to break out. We don't have those types of setups today. So the focus for me is going to be on the setup that has the freshest news, which is Tesla. Tesla is a post-earnings trade idea. Be careful because Tesla, we all know how Tesla can trade, right? So just be careful, be mindful of position sizing if you're trading Tesla, especially the day after earnings, because we expect to see what? Increased volatility. Somebody asked what I see for AMD. Nothing. There's nothing there. Somebody asked thoughts on Amazon. Nothing there. Somebody said something about MU. There's nothing there. I rolled through all of those in my charts already. If you're wondering like why certain stocks don't make my watch list, it's because I have a really specific criteria that these stocks have to meet on larger time frames for them to make them high probability. So just because we could trade Amazon or MU or AMD, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's a high probability setup there that's actually offering us opportunity to be traded. So those stocks have to meet my criteria, and none of those do. Not Amazon, AMD, MU, none of those meet my criteria. So there's nothing there for me on those today. There could be tomorrow, right? Or the next day, but going into today, I don't see anything there. So Tesla will be the top stock pick of the day. We're going to be looking for the break below $420. By the way, we are going to be live trading today. So if you'd like to join into the live trading, here's how you're going to get there. Go to the Discord server, scroll down to the bottom left-hand side of the server, and click on the voice channels heading, and you'll see a channel called the Arena right here. You'll see people in there. That's where we will conduct the live trading. So it won't happen here on YouTube. It's going to happen over here in the Discord server. So one final glance at your watch list. Let's make sure our levels are correct. So let's roll through this one more time and make sure our levels are good to go before we put this out to everybody. So we've got SPY, long above 670, short below 664. Yep, looks good. We've got Meta over 736, short below 726, looks good. We've got Microsoft over 523. That's aggressive, but it looks good. We've got Tesla below 420. Looks good. Netflix continuation sell-off below 1,112. Looks good. PLTR below 173. We're going aggressive on this, looking for the range breakdown on the daily. Your support is at 170. So do keep that in mind. And then Lulu above 183, which is a lower quality setup, but if it can get above 183, there is something there for us. So we'll go ahead and set an alert there. So this is your full watch list for the day. And we'll go ahead and send this over to the team. All right. Thank you for your time this morning. I hope that the analysis here has helped you out. Good luck today. Trade safe. And remember, position sizing is key, especially if you're trading next day expiration contracts on a Thursday. All right, team. We'll see you over in the live trading. Take care. And I'll be in the Discord server. Give me about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll meet you over there in the arena. All right. Enjoy your morning. Go make some money. Cheers.